WB has been on some shaky ground since its merger with Discovery, but it looks like they're putting the DCEU back on track. How do we know? Well, Black Adam is about to drop soon, and it looks epic. It's a whole new vision for the franchise, and get this, Dwayne Johnson is going to be playing the titular character as a villain. That's right, The Rock is about to go bad. Here's what you need to know. First up, this guy is nothing like Superman. DC's been hyping up Black Adam for a while at this point, and it sounds like they've got a game changer on their hands. Now, Warner Brothers needs a win, and it sounds like the studio is pinning all its hopes on The Rock. This film is supposed to refresh the series and give fans something they've never seen before. Sure, those are some pretty big claims, but if anyone can live up to the hype, it's Dwayne Johnson, and it sounds like he's following in the footsteps of a certain Man of Steel. If you've been following the movie's marketing, you'll know that Teth Adam has a lot of the same powers as old Supes. He can fly at supersonic speeds, punch through brick walls, and bend steel beams. But that's not all. He's also got skin that's impervious to bullets and explosions, so you wouldn't want to get on his bad side. And if you're wondering if he has heat vision, he's got the next best thing, lightning blasts that he can shoot with his hands. The power set is where the similarities end though, because this guy is not your average hero. Johnson's been hyping up Black Adam's villain status in basically all his interviews, and he's not messing around. Apparently, the anti-hero doesn't have any of Superman's compassion or mercy. Kal-El would never kill anyone, but Teth Adam is a little different. Okay, he's a lot different. According to The Rock, the character isn't the type to hesitate before ripping his enemies in half. He has zero remorse about eliminating everyone who stands in his way, and honestly, that sounds like a pretty daring direction to take the DCEU in. Following up on that, it sounds like Johnson wants to pit the two characters against each other. So, in the comics, Black Adam is supposed to be Shazam's arch nemesis. They've been facing off against each other through decades of comic history, and their rivalry was originally going to be a part of the DCEU. That's right, WB originally planned on making Black Adam the villain in the Shazam movie, but that plan got scrapped once Dwayne entered the picture. The actor is apparently a huge fan of the character, and he campaigned to give the hero his own origin story. That's why the studio ended up putting its original concept aside. The first script basically packed two origin stories into one big blockbuster, but WB shook things up when Johnson recommended a new direction. He felt that giving Black Adam just half a movie was the wrong way to go about things, so DC lifted the character out of Shazam. That's when the development of a solo film began, and it's been in development for almost 10 years now. A lot is riding on this movie, and it looks like things will only get more interesting. Why? Well, The Rock set his sights on challenging the man from Krypton himself. You heard that right. Johnson wants Black Adam to face off against Superman in a future movie. He teased their confrontation in response to a fan question at San Diego Comic-Con, saying that the matchup would definitely be worth watching. He's also said that their power levels are pretty close, but one thing sets his character apart. According to The Rock, one of Clark Kent's biggest weaknesses is magic, which is literally one of Teth Adam's greatest superpowers. We've got a feeling that'll come up whenever these two comic legends meet up on the big screen. What's more, this feels like a pretty exciting new phase in Johnson's career. We don't know about you, but one of the biggest reasons we're excited about Black Adam is that we've never seen the actor in a role like this before. Sure, the whole DCEU angle of the film is exciting and all, but the thought of seeing Dwayne Johnson play a supervillain is really giving us chills. The former wrestler has always gravitated towards playing tough guys with hearts of gold, and you can see that in his filmography. That's what fans love him for, but we feel like it's about time he shook things up. Whether you're talking about Fast and Furious, Pain and Gain, or Rampage, the man's always been the hero. Sure, he was technically a bad guy in 2001's The Mummy Returns, but that CGI Scorpion King was barely a character. Black Adam will mark the first time he plays a proper character who's a little evil, and that'll take some adjustment. Honestly though, The Rock has enough charisma to make basically any role work. It's going to be fun seeing him play a new kind of character, and we can't wait to witness it. The entire film is basically riding on his shoulders, because Black Adam is a pretty obscure character for movie-going audiences. We've already covered how the character was originally a Shazam villain, but there's a lot more to the anti-hero's tale. He actually didn't start out as a DC character. Instead, the rights to Shazam were originally owned by Fawcett Comics, who were sued by DC for plagiarizing their storylines. One thing led to another, and DC ended up buying the rights altogether. Let's look at why that's made things difficult for the filmmakers. The main problem is that no one's even heard of Black Adam. This movie is going to introduce a brand new comic book property to a ton of audiences, and that's no mean feat. It'll be especially tricky considering even the director of the movie didn't know about the character. Yep, Jaime Clayette Serra, the man in charge of the whole production, has admitted that he didn't know about Black Adam before taking up the project. He's worked with Johnson before on Jungle Cruise though, so they probably have a good creative partnership going. The Rock will need a steady team to help him bring Black Black Adam to life, and Coyette Sarah is a good candidate for the job. The filmmaker has said that he really wants to lean into the character's obscurity with Black Adam. He wants to make this an origin story that's unlike anything audiences have seen before, and that honestly sounds really exciting. We can't wait to see what he and Johnson come up with, because their movie will also introduce a major new element to the DCEU. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Teth Adam may be the anti-hero in this story, but he won't be taking the villains on alone. If you've seen the trailer, you'll know that this film is about to bring the Justice Society of America into the DCEU. Pierce Brosnan, Aldous Hodge, Quintessa Swindle, and Noah Centineo will be playing Dr. Fate, Hawkman, Cyclone, and Atom Smasher, respectively, and fans are hyped. This is the first time we've seen any of these characters in live action, so it's a pretty hype-worthy moment if you ask us. All in all, the team has their work cut out for them. They need to introduce 5 brand new superheroes, a whole Justice Society, and get the DCEU back on track. That's a lot to deal with, but we've got a feeling WB will be able to pull it off. This isn't the first time they've centered one of their movies around a bad guy, and they've recruited the right people to bring the project to life. We'll find out if they succeeded when Black Adam hits theaters on the 21st of October this year. Moving on, let's look at some other news from the world of superheroes. First up, the new Joker movie just cast a new actor. We've been hearing a lot of intriguing things about Joker, Folie à Deux, and the cast just got even more interesting. Actress Catherine Keener is joining the superhero sequel, and that's pretty exciting. You've probably seen her in classics like Being John Malkovich or more recent thrillers like Get Out. She'll be joining Joaquin Phoenix, Zazie Beetz, Brendan Gleeson, and Lady Gaga in the sequel, which WB says will be a musical. Consider us hyped. Next up, the latest Black Adam trailer just promised the return of a Suicide Squad villain. It sounds like this film is going to be absolutely chock full of stuff, because we know now that there's another character making an appearance in the movie. And she'll be pretty familiar if you've seen any of DC's villainous team-up projects. Get this, Viola Davis will reprise her role as Amanda Waller in Black Adam. This is her 4th appearance in the DCEU after 2 Suicide Squad movies and Peacemaker. It makes sense for her to be in this film since she's basically the Nick Fury of the franchise. Let's see what she gets up to this time around. Finally, Disney just confirmed the cast for Thunderbolts. Marvel Studios is working on its own villain team-up film, and it's got fans hyped. They just announced which characters they'll be bringing in for the project, and it's honestly an awesome lineup. The team will consist of 7 villains from the MCU's past, including Yelena Belova, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, Ghost, Red Guardian, US Agent, Taskmaster, and the Winter Soldier. That's a pretty crazy lineup, and we can't wait to see what havoc the film wreaks. That's a wrap for this video. Are you looking forward to seeing Black Adam? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.